Thank you for joining us as we electronically submit the first set of signatures from this petition to Unifor President Jerry Diaz and the chairs of the Ford, GM, and FCA Master Bargaining Committees. Please note that the signature collection will continue after this meeting for future submissions. The agenda will be a brief statement from myself, Rebecca Keach, on behalf of the Solidarity Movement, followed by the submission of the petition. Unifor auto workers are fighting back against a long-standing, undemocratic contract ratification process. This petition was launched to fight for better democracy, better transparency, and greater membership empowerment in the collective bargaining process. The petition is significant. The promotion and collection of signatures has been difficult due to the times we are in. Because of COVID plant rules on employee movement and literature distribution, as well as the fact that regular union meetings have been non-existent or extremely limited, sharing and spreading the word has been greatly restricted. And yet, since this petition was launched in early August, it has been signed by well over 1,500 members. After removing duplicate signatures from some enthusiastic members, we are submitting 1,540 signatures today. The petition remains open and members have been continuing to sign it through this afternoon. The petition should not be construed as an attack on leadership, but rather as an opportunity to strengthen communication and trust between leadership and the membership. Our union's constitution is built on transparency and democratic values. Informing and educating the membership is key to upholding these principles. The Unifor Constitution makes it clear that Unifor is intended to be a democratic organization and for the members to control the union. Article 2, Section 1 states, Unifor is a voluntary organization that belongs to its members. It is controlled by members and driven by members. Its role is to serve their collective interests in the workplace and in our communities. The life of Unifor is shaped by the essential ingredient of democratic participation. Democratic values are the foundation of all that we do. Our commitment to the principles and practices of democratic unionism define who we are and are reflected in our rules, structures, and processes. Our Constitution cannot just be words on a paper. Members must have the right to look at, digest, and formulate questions on the document that will determine their wages, benefits, and working conditions for the next 3 or 4 years. This cannot be done in any meaningful way in the current ratification process. Canadian auto workers point to the UAW, which since 2011 has published the White Book, the full contract with all changes on its website, where Detroit 3 members can access it before they go to their ratification information meetings. With technology today, it couldn't be cheaper or easier to make the contract available ahead of ratification. The petition demands Unifor leadership provide full disclosure of the contents of the contract 5 days before ratification by publishing all revisions, additions, deletions, and changes to the contract, clearly marked on the Unifor National website and the websites of the locals involved in Detroit 3 bargaining, and that the ratification highlights include a clear statement of all money and benefits negotiated on behalf of the union representatives and any money or benefits negotiated to be paid to the locals and/or national union. We will now go to a screen share as we send the petition electronically.
Okay, this is the email that we're about to send. It's going to the National President of Unifor, Jerry Diaz, and to the 3 chairs of the bargaining committees, John Dagnolo, who's chair of the Unifor Ford Bargaining Committee, James Stewart, who is chair of the Unifor Fiat Chrysler Bargaining Committee, and Tim McKinnon, who's the chair of the Unifor General Motors Bargaining Committee. We have the signatures, all the information from the petitions is attached to this email. Dear Brother Dias, today we are sending you the first 1,500 plus signatures asking for full contract disclosure before ratification votes. This is a simple demand for transparency and democracy. Our Constitution makes it clear that the membership owns our union. It's our right as members to know everything that has been negotiated on our behalf before we vote on it. Modern technology makes this easier than ever. We sincerely hope for a positive and timely response to this request from a large number of members in Unifor's auto sector in solidarity. I'm going to click send. And that has been sent.
So,
okay, I'll turn it back to Rebecca and we'll take questions from media, I believe.
if there are any questions.
I was just wondering, I spoke with Jerry Dias about a week ago about the petition, and he said that he would defer to local leaders on any decisions when it comes to ratification votes. I was just curious, I guess what your response would be to that, and then B, what kind of response you're expecting, from union leadership now that the petition's been sent.
So I guess the my response to the first part that Jerry said he would defer to local leadership is that was very interesting to see that comment in your report. So from my experience, when and this has been asked at numerous union meetings, when people have said, how come we can't see the contract, the full contract before we vote on it? The response has always been because the national runs that show, and they are the ones that are determining how the contract ratification is done. I think it's really interesting if Jerry is saying that it's up to the different locals, and we will be forwarding a notice to the different chairs of the units involved, letting them know that this petition has been submitted and asking them to support members' demands for greater contract transparency. The response that we're hoping to get from the union would, of course, be that they will provide the white book 5 days before ratification, allowing members to properly look up the information that they feel is important to them or that they have questions about, so that they can look at the language and then be able to ask informed questions and make informed decisions at ratification.
Thank you.
I was wondering, is this the first time you've made a request like this?
This is the first time that I'm aware of a petition being submitted to the national around contract disclosure. So I believe that there have been other petitions that may have been submitted in the past around getting, when plants close and shifts are reduced, they will move workers to a different plant, and then work magically comes back to the plant that was reduced, and those workers are not able to get back into their hometown. They're stuck in another part of the province. So I believe there's been a petition previously around getting workers back to their home plants and to their hometowns.
Was there anything specific in the last contract that makes you very interested in making this happen this time around?
It isn't specific to the last contract. So this has been a long-standing concern, and I think there's broad support from it across auto sector members. It's accumulation of things. One is the technology is available to make it easy. If you go back 30 years when you had tens of thousands of auto workers and would have had to print and distribute the contract, it would have been cumbersome. And I think there's probably a reasonable reason why that wasn't done. But now when you can, with the click of a button, put an entire document up that's easy for people to find and read, I can't think of why they wouldn't be doing it now. And there's been a number of concessions. So it's no secret that the auto industry has been taking a hammering over the last 20 years. Workers' wages and benefits have been under attack. Companies have successfully positioned themselves to be making billions while reducing the living standard of their workers. And so there's a number of things. I mean, when the highlights, as an example, says something like sub credits will be deferred till you reach 6 years. Okay, so that says that sub's going to be moved 6 years. But when you look at the language of what has happened to the sub credits, it's considerably more significant than just having to wait longer to get it. They've reduced the credits. So the company was able to successfully reduce the credits and reduce access to them. And so it's things like that members aren't able to look at and to ask questions about.
If I could also comment on that, Eric. On our website, under the FAQ page, we do list a few examples from the last few contracts that people have brought up to us as indicating concerns. And I think it's like this. We have been used to a process where something that's so critically important to us as workers, as our collective agreement for the next 3 or 4 years, we don't get any details until we show up at a meeting. We get handed a summary. A few people get to ask some questions, and then we're expected to vote on the way out of the meeting. It's as though you were buying a house and you're allowed to have one look at the house. You get told a summary of what the contract is going to be. You're not allowed to look in the basement or the attic, and then you have to decide. It doesn't make sense. And you know, if you look at the FAQ, you'll see some examples. But one that sticks in my mind is that in the 2016 agreement for General Motors workers, the union negotiated enhanced or improved pensions for a select group of union reps. That wasn't in the summary brochure. It wasn't reported at the ratification meetings. People only found out about it when they got the printed copies of their collective agreement a year later. And when they found out, they weren't happy about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there are no other questions, and I'd like to thank everybody for attending today. We expect that this video will be viewed by members later, as transparency is important and this petition is important. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching.
And if anybody is watching on Facebook Live, as Rebecca said, we're continuing to encourage people to sign the petition. And as we've been conducting this meeting, the signatures have still been coming in. My phone has been pinging. So we're going to keep it going for a while. So thank you all.
I'd like to add that is at SolidarityMovement.ca. And because of the difficulties because of COVID and the lack of union meetings, it is very, very important that you talk to your coworkers and people on the line, and send by email and talk with your contacts if you want them to sign on to this. Thank you.